Mother, thank you so much. How you doing? Bobby Dirkens here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you joining me on this live stream about Notre Dame versus Clemson in the Cotton Bowl. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I've already talked about it some, but I'm going to talk about it more right now. We're 2 weeks from it's technically yesterday, but I still want to say tonight. May there to all of you, Clemson, Carson, the Crow and Cock, college football talk. Josh Watson, good to see you. May there to all of you. If you don't know me, now you do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I don't know if it's on this side or that side, or then hit the notification. Thank you so much for joining me. The Lord will richly bless you. Good to see you so much. I appreciate it. All of you are joining me here. But the reason I am spurned, my hydraulic seat just dropped there. The reason that I am doing this tonight is because may there Prince 6'1". Good to see you, buddy. Long time no see. The reason that I'm doing this right now is because I have been receiving tons of trash talk from Notre Dame fans. Now, I want to say there's been some really good Notre Dame fans who's hit me up. You've been kind. You've been nice. You've pulled for your team. And listen to me. If any of y'all out there, you're not a Clemson fan, and you pull for your team and you believe that they're going to win, I don't blame you. You know why? You pull for your team. Let all of us stop right now and say, no matter what, we pull for our team. Right? All right? We pull for our team. I was pulling for Clemson when they were 3-8 in 1998. I've been a Clemson fan for a very long time. All right? I pull for my team. But I talked a little bit of trash when Clemson was not what they are now. But if we were going to play another team, I'd sit there and say, hey, I believe we've got this and we got that going for us. But at the end of the day, I knew that other team most likely was going to beat us. And I've got some good Notre Dame faithful who's coming on here talking to me, and they're good people, but you always have the crazy show up. You always have the stupidity show up. You always have the dumb show up. You always have the outcast show up. We're going to get to that right now. This week I've been receiving some messages. Some that was so foul-mouthed I could not even put it on my site. And y'all know me, I try to keep it clean on here. You know, it doesn't take that much to get dirty. I mean, there's some comedians in this world who just sit there and they just say the F word over and over and people slapping their knee. I'm sitting there going, Lord, I could teach my 3-year-old to just sit there and say the F word over and over. Though it would be wrong for a 3-year-old to be saying the F word, does that mean he's automatically funny? And the answer is no. No, no. There's even some comments I hadn't been able to put up on here because they were that foul, they were that horrible, but I'm saving them for later. From Notre Dame fans who have been jerks. As I said, some good ones have been there, and they've been nice, and they feel like their team's going to win, but they were cordial. They gave reasons why they thought they were going to win, and I can respect those reasons, though I think they're wrong. But I want to talk about Notre Dame's season. And that's the easiest way to get to the bottom of this. All right? All right? Let's just walk through this. I'm going to do this quick. Very first game of the year, Notre Dame played Michigan and beat them. Brandon Wimbush was the quarterback, which Brandon Wimbush is a really good athlete. He's just not a quarterback. If the kid wants to make millions of dollars in the pros, listen to me, he would be better off if he'd switch positions. All right? Switch positions, you make millions of dollars, you'll be fine. That's not a slap at you. That's an encouragement. But they beat Michigan, a Michigan team that I don't buy. Hadn't bought all season. Sitting there scratching my head, why are they looking good when they still look bad? And the answer is they play in a very weak Big Ten. Tons of my buddies like Pigskin Pete and Volunteer Roadshow were sitting there scratching our heads going into preseason. On paper, they looked pretty good. We thought this might be the Big Ten's years. And then they made all of us look bad, which now we're all pissed at them because it lets us know two things. First, we were right. They did have the talent. But number two, they did not have the coaching. And you still have to have a coaching. I'll get to that in a second. Notre Dame played Michigan and beat them 24-17 in the very first game of the year. It was at Notre Dame. And everybody started going, Bobby, you were wrong. In preseason, I did not give Notre Dame a lot of love. And I caught a lot of hate because I didn't give a lot of love. I caught a lot of hate from Notre Dame fans. Then so they win 24-17. The very next week, Notre Dame plays Ball State. Ball State. For all of you, listen to me. May there to all of you. I know it's 1 a.m. in the morning. May there to all of you. Notre Dame, some of you Notre Dame fans have been giving us down road as Clemson, who we played and who we hadn't played. I can't believe that. Your second game of the week is Ball State. Ball State could easily be a Division II team. I know they have some new fancy name and had it for a few years. It's Division II. We all know it. And listen to what you beat them by. 24-16. Boy, that sounds powerful, doesn't it? If Clemson played them, we'd beat the piss out of them. If Alabama would have played them, they'd have beat the piss out of them. If Oklahoma would have beat them, we'd have played them, we'd have beat the piss out of them. Y'all only beat Ball State 24-16. From what my memory can go back to, I believe Wimbush had 3 interceptions. Oh, but Bobby, then we made the change. Oh, no. We'll keep going. Then you played Vanderbilt. The very next week. You won 22-17. Vanderbilt, a team who got blistered by several. Forget they have SEC in front of them. They should never be in the SEC. Vanderbilt should be in like the MAC or something. The Sun Belt. Does that still exist? I could care less. I don't know. Oh, but Bobby, that's when Wimbush was still quarterback. Hold on. 2 weeks before that, y'all were talking about how great Wimbush was. So he either is or he's not. Us at Clemson, we made a decision, and we said our starting quarterback was a talented athlete, but he was not a good quarterback. He got mad, transferred. We put God at quarterback, and you see what happened. Very next week, you played Wake Forest, beat them 56-27. That's no big deal. We beat them 63-3. Very next week, turn around, you played Stanford. You beat Stanford 38-17. Let me go ahead and tell you, I've not been impressed with Stanford for a long time. For some reason, people are impressed with David Shaw. I think David Shaw is a good positions coach. He's not a good head coach. Well, don't you know how hard it is to get into Stanford? I don't care. You want to play great college football, you're going to have to lower a little bit of the standards, because I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. Most everybody who's in college football does not care about having a 4.0. They'll go, if they can make it into the big leagues, they'll make way more money than anybody with a 4.0. I'm sorry. That's just the way life works. Just because you're book smart doesn't mean you're world smart. And I know y'all are going to make fun of me for that. I don't care. I'm still right. You're wrong. I know some of the biggest idiots I know in my entire life is between really, really dumb rednecks and book smart people who doesn't know how to apply everyday life. Dumb as piss. Very next game, y'all played Virginia Tech, beat them 45-23. Game after that, this is great. Think about how bad Clemson beat Pittsburgh. Think about it. Y'all played Pittsburgh and nearly lost to them. You won 19-14, but I mean, think about that. Very next week, you played Navy. Navy's really down right now. I don't know who's talking about basketball. Stop talking about basketball. I'm glad you're on here and you know you're my buddy, but I care less about college basketball. College basketball is nothing but a funnel to the NBA, like bad. Like bad. I mean, I'm just sitting here. I'm just saying. I don't want to talk about college basketball. College basketball, they should have kept it to where the NBA, somebody could go straight to the NBA and skip college basketball. They should have done that. I care nothing about college basketball. It's college football. I'm glad you're here. I ain't mad at you. I'm just saying, stop talking about college basketball. I could care less about it. The NBA messed it up when them the college ranks, started saying, well, we're gonna let them go in there and play 1 year of. That's stupid. Let them go on it. 1 year ain't gonna make a difference, y'all. Just let them go on. Zion Williamson should be in the NBA right now. He should not be at Duke. He should not be at Clemson. He should not be at any university. He should be playing in the big leagues. I'm going to stop real quick. Brit 6'1" said, where are you watching Notre Dame Clemson game? Most likely at my house by myself or with my dad. I'll watch unless I was kind enough to go with somebody like you. You and Pigskin Pete and Tiger Nation. It was great. We had a great time. Unless I go to the game, I prefer to watch the game by myself. Here's the reason why. I lose my mind during it. Very bad. Lose my mind very bad during those games. There's a lot of patch on my sheetrock where I've thrown stuff. I'm very nervous during the game. I might say something that make Jesus not so happy. So I'm kind of that way. 81 Clemson Tiger 16 says, I'll be at work for the Clemson Natty playoff and Natty. I'd call in sick. Like right now, I think of something that's believable. Start faking some stomach trouble. Like now, make it believable up to the point, and then you'll be able to ask off and they'll believe it. Bobby Dirkens. Why they pay me the big bucks? No, but I wish. Let's get back to this schedule real quick. So I finished off y'all play Navy. And then we have Notre Dame beating Northwestern, who's somehow number 22 after they've lost, 5 games? Like 5 games? What? I like Pat Fitzgerald. Y'all have heard me talk about it. I like him. You know, I'm not some Northwestern fan, but I like Pat Fitzgerald. If you can win there, that's a big deal. Stop focusing on Stanford and David Shaw and all he's done. Focus on Pat Fitzgerald. I mean, Lord. Next week, you beat Florida State 42-13. Did y'all see what we did to them? Y'all even have a clue? Right? Next week, y'all play Syracuse. Beat them 36-3. You didn't play Dungy the entire game. I mean, are y'all serious? You didn't play Dungy the entire game. Very next week, you played a Southern Cal team that has... for all of you new people who's watching this, it's called the shell of history. A shell of history is this. In history, you have done great things. You might have done it for multiple years. You might have done it for only a couple of years. But you've done something in the past. But now you come out there with the same uniforms. You come out there with the same players that's their name is splashed all over the stadium, but they're not there anymore. You look like the same team. You have the same logo, but you're not the same team. The caliber of players that you were back then that made you who you think you are no longer there. That's a shell of history. It's a skeleton. Yes, kind of like Florida State. Florida State is a shell of history. You hear we're playing Florida State, and it's still stuck in our heads, especially as Clemson fans. Oh, we're playing Florida State. Oh, they suck. Oh, same uniforms. Yeah, we're playing at Doak Stadium. Yeah, this is Tallahassee, but it's not Tallahassee like it used to be. It's like, yeah, this is Tallahassee. It's the same now as like saying, oh, it's Winston-Salem. Oh, it's Durham, North Carolina. Oh, you're talking about, oh, that team. It's not the same. Notre Dame fans, you are talking so much trash right now. Your butt is writing a check that you cannot cash. You are pissing off more people than what you realize. You don't know who you're playing. I'm going to go ahead and spell this out for all of y'all who need some spelling out. Here's the deal. You are playing a team who has murdered absolutely everybody, almost everybody they've played. And in the early games, they were still trying to decipher whether they were going to go with this guy or that guy at quarterback. And the guy that they decided to go with is the guy you're going to have to play, and I hate to tell you for you. And all your mouth that's been running. Now, you good, once again, you good Notre Dame fans, chill out. I'm not talking about you. You should believe in your team. But for you who's been coming on here just absolutely cussing me out and losing your mind. But again, you are Catholic, so you think you can do anything, and as long as you do your good, you can do your bad. That's okay with you. You poke yourself 14 times and you're fine, but you're not. Here's the truth for you. Yeah, I said that. Here's the truth for you. You are going to get the living piss right now beat out of you. Because here's the deal. You think that just because South Carolina did what they did to our secondary, you think you can do that to us. I read today to where one of your guys wrote that one of the worst things that could ever happen to y'all is if y'all think y'all can go in a shootout with us. You know why? Because even Bama is afraid to go in a shootout with Clemson. Bama. You're not Bama. Last time you played Bama, you got your bloomers pulled over your head and got strangled in the middle of a Hail Mary. You could not even strangle out Hail Mary out of your mouth. Do you know why? Here's the reason why. Because you can't handle the truth that you guys are not as good as you think you are. In fact, this year, the reason I did not think you were not going to be good was because you lost so many good players. And because you had Wimbush as your quarterback, you brought Ian Book out there. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right now, Ian Book is a good quarterback. He is a good quarterback, but it cannot make up for who you're about to play. I could care less what you think. On December 29th, and now less than 2 weeks away, you're going to play Clemson at 4 o'clock at the Cotton Bowl. And we're not going to blow you out. You do have talent. You do have ability. But you're not going to win this game. You're going to lose. And when you lose, you're going to come away from that game going, why did we run our mouth so much? And Georgia fans are going to be running their mouth that they should have been in, though they blew it. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this thing because I know I've already got a ton of hate coming out of South Bend, but I'm going to go ahead and be blunt. Truth is that what I just said is the truth. And if you don't like the truth is not the enemy, but the truth therein and how you feel about it, that's up to you. Well, y'all remember, go ahead and hit that button right there. I want to say may there to all of you. I went on a rant. Y'all know me once I go on a rant. I ain't saying may there to a bunch of people. It's not because I don't appreciate it. It's because I'm just on a rant. Lord knows once I get to go and ask my wife, I don't know when to shut up. Appreciate all of you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you hadn't already. You can find me on YouTube here every time. Go ahead and hit the notifications. Find me on, got a burpity burp. Go ahead and find me on Twitter at Dirkens, Bdirkens, or you can find me on Instagram at @TheBobbyDirkens. And Lord, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I can spell, believe it or not. Y'all remember, you keep showing up, I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens.